And we are live. Have fun, guys.
Let me tell you something, brother. Welcome back to the Cat's Corner. I'm a little sad. I know you are, Cat. You work with the man, the immortal Hulk Hogan has left us. What are your initial thoughts about that?
Well, it came as a surprise. It's like you surround yourself by, having good friends and people around you all the time. You think they're gonna be there every time you want to pick up the phone and call. I knew he had had some problems and stuff, his back and stuff like that, but you just don't call and say, how serious is this? But this turned out to be pretty damn serious. And I wish I had just another moment with him just to tell him how much I appreciate the way he treated me, the way when we first met, the way he was easy to work with. He was I tell everybody he was like a cool ass uncle. Somebody who been there before, somebody who know the street, somebody who know the way. They've been there before, but they'll come back just to get you. They say, hey, I've been here. Come on, let's go with me. I'll show you the way.
Nothing but good memories. Nothing but good memories. He was part of my childhood. A fabric. My childhood. When he beat the Sheik and won the belt, I was over the moon, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've always been a Flair guy, but Hogan has done more for the business than anybody I can think of as far as making it mainstream and being cool to be a wrestling fan. So rock and wrestling.
But I sit and I think about some of the things we went through in this business, and meeting him was my first big surprise. It's like I knew where I was at. I signed a contract. I knew I was a pro wrestler. I knew what I was about to get into, but I didn't recognize I was into it until I was sitting and catering on a Monday night. Just sitting there eating by myself. I got there early eating, and I looked up and I saw Hogan and Macho Man came in. It was so cool, man. I was just watching them. I said, man, now those are guys I used to watch. I can't believe that's Hogan, Macho Man, right here in this room with me. But I can't look like a fan. I can't go up to them and beg them for an autograph or a picture because I was gonna be working with these guys. So I never wanted to fan out. Didn't want to be a fan, but so I just got kind of quiet. But I think these guys noticed that I was quiet, kind of to myself, and they went out of their way to make sure I was part of whatever was going on. Hey, what do you think about this, Cat? All the team talking, we talking in the meetings, and boom, everybody putting in their input. And I'm just new, so I was like, my little word didn't make a big difference. Didn't mean anything until Hogan stood up. Yeah, I think this is what we should do, guys. Yeah. Then he'll look over and see me and say, Cat, so what do you think about this, Cat? I mean, you got to have an input in this too. You part of the team. Man, he was just like that. That's why you see these people posting and see like everybody posting good stuff. Everybody that work with him. I don't know too many guys who work with Hogan that I've seen a negative post. Anything negative.
Well, there's been some backlash, about the.
Yeah, name one that worked with him. Listen to what I said.
I got you. I understand what you're saying. No work colleagues are saying anything bad about it.
Okay, then. So why bring up what anybody else said? Because everybody entitled to their opinion, but those opinions that never been around them, never worked with him, I don't care.
Right. I mean,
we don't care. That's just somebody who got the right to say what they feel, to say what they think. But I'm looking at the guys like Ted Alone. Ted Alone tell it straight. He's been on the podcast before. He's been here before.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And he told us about everybody. Ric Flair, he didn't have good thing to say about him. But let me tell you something. When Ted Alone said this was a good guy to him, this was a good guy to him. when Stevie Ray called me the other day and said that Hogan always was good to him, that meant something. Because he wasn't gonna make up something called Hogan's gone.
No, I
Stevie
mean,
Ray, you know Stevie Ray.
yeah,
You know Stevie Ray.
he trying to sensationalize. I can't even say it. Sensationalize the death of a beloved figure like this. I mean, and the people that are running their mouth are people that are basically marks for the business, like myself, that are running their damn motor mouths about things that he said and things that he did.
But see, I can understand though. 'Cause most of these people live through us.
Right.
When I said they don't live with us, they live through us.
Yeah.
So when they see Hogan, when they read something about him, that's their connection. That's their connection. But listen, I sat right there with Hogan for 5 years. We worked together. For years, we worked together.
Oh yeah.
We talked all as much as we can. We talked. We had good conversation. And every time he traveled, he always had his wife and kids with him. He always used to bring his wife. I never saw him by himself, and he was to me, he was just a good dude. Now, I had a guy that called me and said, well, what about the N-word? I said, bro, let me tell you something. I got white friends. I got Asian friends. I got friends from Pakistan, from Africa. I got all kinds of friends that we talk on the phone and have conversation. And my wife told me one day after listening to us talk, she said, boy, if anybody ever heard that conversation right there, all of y'all be canceled.
She must have been talking about me and you.
Y'all, that's everybody. Goldberg, it's Goldberg, Stevie Ray. Boy, we just call and we just talk and we say some crazy shit to each other. If you listen to our conversation, you would swear that these guys don't like each other. They don't like each other. Look at them. One call the other one a derogatory name. The other one calling one back. But the thing is, my friend, group of friends that I have, we'll do anything for each other. I know I can call Goldberg up and say, Goldberg, I need you. He was like, okay, I'll be there, brother. I could call Hogan up. I just believe this. I never called, but I don't ask people for it. I'm the kind of guy to sit back. But I believe if I call Hogan up and say, Hogan, I need this phone number, I need something, I need this, he would say, okay, cat. He just like that. Him and Eric Bischoff was just hella friends.
For sure. We got a lot of business ventures going on, man. I feel bad because, I mean, they were just almost, man, just about to open up another Hogan's beach bar thing in Pigeon Forge, a bar across from
but listen to
Madison
this,
Square Garden, and then that freestyle wrestling
but listen to this. Every day, tomorrow is not promised.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
You can only stand on business right where you are right now. Just right at this moment. This is the only thing God promised us. Right here. I'm here.
Yeah, gotta make the most of it.
I'm here. And not make the most of it. You got to enjoy it. You got to appreciate it.
That's called making the most of it, for sure.
You got to appreciate it. Some people appreciation is not the most, Big Ray. I want to say you for sure. But some people appreciation is not enough for some of the things that they received and some of the things that they have offered to them. I appreciate you giving me a hard transplant. No, you got to go up and above, man. Thank you, God, for giving me this moment, giving me the second chance of life. Listen, we are all surprised that Hogan's gone, and it's almost like a dream. I just wish sometime I'd sit there yesterday and I was just thinking, boy, this would be the greatest. This would be the greatest rib of them all. If Hogan popped out, him and Eric kicking off the new show, and Hogan's on the show. See, that's the kind of stuff in wrestling we used to get. We would get stuff like that watching a wrestling show, like when they said Ric Flair had a heart attack in the ring on Monday Night Nitro. I thought it was real. I was in the back walking around. They pulling him out the ring. They acting like real people just buzzing around. And I was like, man, I was stunned. Then Nathan, you know, I see Rick walking past me in the back. And then I realized it was just part of the episode.
Part of the show. But this wasn't part of no show. I mean, you know, you and I talked about it several weeks back. I said that Bubba the Love Sponge had been reporting that he had been in ICU for 50 days and had complications from his neck surgery, and something happened with his larynx and his throat and his esophagus, and he couldn't talk. And so they had him in ICU, and then they released him, like whatever it was, like 2 or 3 days before his cardiac arrest on the 24th. At like 10 o'clock in the morning, his heart just stopped.
What's up, Skyhook 88? What's up, man?
Let me see. Yeah, okay. I'm starting to see him now.
So listen. I got a
What's up,
call
Shane?
today.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a quick call. He was kind of panicky. He was like, hey, he said, I need some, what did he say? How did he say it? He said, I ain't gonna tell you who it is, but it's funny. He called me, one of my good friends, and he said, I need some information from a black person. I need the black vote. I need the black information. Then I said, I'm the only one you know? He was like, no, hell no. Do you think Hogan was a racist? I said, hell, I said, he never did anything racist to me. No, do you think he was a racist? And I was like, I don't really think so. I think I think he made a mistake by some of the words that he was using and the N-word. Yeah, I think that was a mistake. That was racist. But do I think his soul and the person I knew, the Hogan I knew, were racist? I said, no. I said, you know, if I had camera and videos in my house and I would tape it myself, they probably hear a lot of stuff from me too. But this is what I want to know. How did that get out?
Same people that filmed him having sex with his wife, man, that Bubba the Love Sponge. Supposedly all that came from a radio station in Tampa, Florida, every bit of that. So he was secretly being taped and filmed, supposedly without his knowledge, and that's how he got the settlement, because Gawker, whoever Gawker is, at some kind of site, released it. And he sued him, and he got whatever he got.
The funny thing is, I worked with Hogan on the Thunder episode. It was so fun. I kept calling him out. And Mike Tenay and all those guys, and it was just funny. He wasn't in the building, so he got a little mad. So, I mean, it was a good episode. I wish I could see that episode again. I wish someone could find that episode of me calling out Hogan.
I'm sure it's on somewhere.
The cat was sick and tired, and I was calling out Hogan, and Hogan finally came out. And Hogan told me, he said, hey, Cat, we know you rotten to the core. And people thought that was so funny. My friends at home thought that was so funny.
I said, why? To the core, brother.
I was like, why was that so funny? So Hogan said you were rotten to the core, Cat. And I was like, that's when I was a commissioner. And I was kind of hillish, baby face kind of guy. But just working with Hogan, man, just being around him was just, I mean, it was just impossible to not like him.
Skyhook says he's got it on tape. He'll send it to you.
Oh, okay. All right. Tell Skyhook I'll send him who is Skyhook? Is there anybody we know? Tell him I'll send him a picture, autograph picture. But listen, I'll be in North Carolina this weekend.
Where at? Charlotte?
At the Charlotte, yeah, at the gathering. It'll be me and Glacier taking photo out. Then it'll be me and Sonny Ono. Then maybe me and Miss Jones. I don't know yet. But I know I'll be there. So you guys come on out to see me if you're nearby. You know, that'll be great, man. But you know,
Skyhook is Justin, the guy you took with you to Las Vegas to WrestleMania. Your number one fan.
Can you pause on that. The guy I took with me to Las Vegas.
The guy that won the Catch Corner
Yeah,
podcast.
yeah. That's how you do it, Ray.
Fanorama, if you
Ray,
will.
Ray, this is a business. That's how you do. You tell what the sources was, why we was there.
Why are you so all defensive when I said that you just took the man to Las Vegas? The man can't take another man to Las Vegas without you getting all defensive.
Why do you have that toupee on?
I don't have a toupee.
Come
This is
on,
all
Ray,
me, baby.
Ray. I don't want to get on you.
I
Ray.
can swim. I can horseback ride.
Ray,
this is
not about you, Ray. This is a moment right now for a friend who's passed on.
Correct. But you wanted to know who Skyhook was. That's all I wanted to know.
I can read. I'm looking right at.
Okay, then.
So, man, listen. I still don't know. I still don't know all the outs and in about what happened and when it happened, and it to keep it a secret. I don't think nothing was wrong with that.
Well, I mean, it's rubbed some people the wrong way. That rubbed me the wrong way. I understand, people are going to be people, but don't pretend to be one way and then be somebody else. I don't think Hogan is racist. I think he had a I think he was angry at his daughter, and he said some stuff that out of pocket.
Ray, you can't say that because you white. You can't say that. You can't say he's not racist. You should keep your.
I don't think he is.
Well,
that's
you
my
need
opinion.
it. That shouldn't be. You
I
should
never
have.
said he was or wasn't. I just said I don't.
You should not. You should not have an opinion on that, because guess what? You wasn't the one that people used that word to break down. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think you should put your foot in your mouth like that. You should say that was something very, very bad.
Very bad.
Disrespectful, racist. That he went at that. I mean, if you listen to that conversation for a split second, you would say, whoever that dude is, that's not Hogan. That's not Terry. But he said some racist things now. Now the subject matter to me, was okay. He was right. If my daughter brought somebody home, I would not want them to bring anybody home. I don't care, but I don't care if they're white, black, or Asian, or whatever.
You're going to hate them all equally, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not going to hate. I hope she brings somebody home I love, somebody that's going to treat her right, somebody have the ability, the capability of being a good husband, a good boyfriend.
I agree 100%.
If that's an 8-foot tall black man that play in the NBA, so be it. As long as he going to treat her right, because we already know just because what you play and what you represent don't mean you're going to be a good person in anybody's life.
What if he's a 5'5" Italian who makes bread for an Italian restaurant?
If he's good to my daughter and that's what he wants, that's all I want. That's all I want. Now, I don't know if I would have used the N-word like that, if I was one of you guys.
No, definitely not. I mean, that's just a bad look all the way around.
Yeah, but does that mark who he is the rest of his life? Should he be a racist?
I mean, can a man make one mistake and come back from it? Or, are you painted with that brush the rest of your life? I mean, Rosenblum is the guy that's really raising.
Shane Worlds just said something. Racists don't fake not being racist, bro. He made a bad comment, but he was always loving to all races and people. And exactly. Every time I saw him, he was nice to everybody. I saw Ric Flair. Treat somebody like a dog when they asked for his autograph and got him kicked out. Walked him right over there. We in catering. This old lady standing in there. Ric Flair walk in. I'm just sitting down, just looking, mind my own business. This old lady walk in there. Ric Flair walk in. This old lady walk up to Ric Flair and say, "Hey, Rick, how you doing?" And he looked at her and said, "Hey, how you doing, miss?" Then she said, "Can I take a picture with you?" He said, "Yeah." Rick put his arm around the old lady, and they started walking towards the hallway. and he took her right to the security guard and said, "Hey, she's not supposed to be in here." Didn't give her a picture. She thought she was going to take a picture. He walked her right to the security guard that was there watching everybody in the catering, watching over the catering. And guess what the officer said? "Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is my mom." And
Who
it was a
said that?
white lady. The officer. Listen to the story. The officer.
Oh, the officer said it was his mother.
It was his mom. He just brought his mom to work and she was just hanging out in the back with us. And she saw Rick and just wanted to say hello. And this wasn't a black lady. There was a white lady. So Rick wasn't prejudiced because he decided to do that. He wasn't a racist. It wasn't that he hated women. Rick is an asshole sometimes. Now let's say that. But then Rick does a lot of good things for people too. You see how he treats me. Rick does a lot of good things for people. People listen, but I've never seen Hogan do anything that was disrespectful to anybody around us. Even in meetings, I never saw him even talk down or talk over somebody. He will always listen. Like I said, he was like a cool ass uncle that's now you're in the same business that he's in, and he's so cool. He been there before. He know the road to take. But yet and still, he walked back with me and said, "Hey, let me show you the road. When this happens, you do this. If this right here." Matter of fact, when I was shooting up to straight to the top. I was on my rise. I was doing a lot of good things. I was getting over when I was the commissioner. I was over. The crowd was going crazy. The numbers were high. And I was just waiting to beat. Who was I going to beat? Who was I going to beat to get to that next level? And we were just looking for somebody. Lex Luger. Could it be Lex Luger? Could it be the NWO? NWO was going crazy then. It wasn't going to be Goldberg because Goldberg was there. So I just needed to beat one person. And guess who volunteered?
Hollywood Hogan did, but then they scrapped it. They messed your push up like that, man. You could have been pushed right to the moon.
They didn't mess up anything. I got what I deserved.
No,
I got over.
You got over, but you deserve much better.
No, I got over. I ain't gonna say I deserve anything. I deserve what I got. I worked hard and I worked and it showed in whatever I had. Right now, people look at me and say, "Hey, when I walk through WWE, walking Goldberg to the ring." Matter of fact, look at this shirt right here, people.
That's it right there. Last ride, baby.
When I walk Goldberg to the ring, anytime I walk through the hallway by the locker room, all the WWE superstars whispering, "Hey, is that the cat? Is that Ernest Miller? Is that Ernest?" They was excited to see me. That show you right there. I did what I had to do. You know, I made some people
Nobody's ever
recognize
said you weren't over. I'm just saying, I think they could have done more with you. I think they underutilized the talent they had.
Well, but working with Hogan. Now, one time I'm gonna tell you a story about this right here. Now, this is a good story. And it's just me. Most people who know me know how I am. I don't mind being by myself. I mean, I talk a lot, but I can sit by myself and watch a movie by myself. I can just relax. I don't need to be in a crowd. I'll drive by myself. So on the road, one day we had to go from Chicago to somewhere else. It was about a 4-hour drive, about 45-minute flight. And we all were going to be on that show. And I get a call. Sonny Ono called me and said, hey, Cat, Hogan wanted to know if you want to fly with him on this plane to that next town. I said, it's just a 4-hour. He said, no, you can fly with, I'm going to fly with him on his private jet. So I said, no, I'm going to drive. So I drove. The next Monday night, I'm walking down the hall. Here come Eric Bischoff walking my way. Eric stopped and said, hey, Cat, the way you get somewhere in this business is making friends. When someone like Hogan asks you to do something with them, like fly with them, you should do that. And I'm like, I said, did he say something? He said, oh no. Hogan said he understand you. He said he get you. He said the cat that's just how he is. He's not a loner, but he travel alone. And Eric asked me, he said, why did you not want to fly with him? I said, because I wanted to drive and be by myself. In that business, a lot of guys drink, a lot of guys smoke, a lot of guys do a lot of things that I didn't do. So in order for me to stay calm and to stay on top of things, I just didn't travel with a lot of people.
So you wasn't exposed to that lifestyle where you would have to say that.
And I was exposed to it, and I wasn't saying Hogan was going to do it. I'm just saying I wanted to travel by myself on the road.
In other words, if you don't put yourself in that situation, you ain't got to tell a person, no, you're not going to do it.
Exactly. Not that had nothing to do with hope, but that got me used to being by myself and traveling on the road by myself.
Right.
So,
right on. Well, this is a good time to talk about our sponsor, Recite. We couldn't do it without you. And upcoming is our commercial about Recite. Please stay tuned.
We're Recite. Of course, we offer all-inclusive site work. We're Recite. Of course, we have a dynamic site crew. We're Recite. We have secure foundations. We're Recite. Of course, we're good stewards. Recite redefines the way site work is done. Contact us at recite.com. It's re-site.com.
We're back like we never left, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to Recite. Also, if you like what you're hearing, hit the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to share the content, because that's how it grows. If you're thinking about making a contribution, you can always do that at our Cash App, which is $ Cat's Corner Podcast. And use the hashtag Call Me Daddy. And you'll get a special little gift from the cat himself. I don't know where he went. I guess he went to go make him a bologna and cheese sandwich.
No, you know what? I was looking for this cool picture. I got this cool picture. I got Hogan to sign for me. And we was there. It was probably the only meet and greet that I was there with Hogan. And I asked him to sign. He had this picture of him picking up Andre the Giant.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I got him to sign the picture. It's in here somewhere.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome.
But see, I wish I had got more.
We all do.
Add some of these five. Let's ask Skyhook. And Skyhook, you can tune in. What do you think about some of the things you are hearing about Hogan? Do you think they're true? Do you think they're false? Just let me know when the answer come up too, Big Ray.
Skyhook want me to do Andre. You ask a question.
Hey, Big Ray. This ain't no time to play, man. This is a serious show.
I get you, guy. Anyway, we can't leave this this episode without talking about our friend of the show and our buddy who was at the ring roast, Marcus Alexander Bagwell, aka Buff Bagwell, who lost a leg in the last couple of weeks, and through complications of a wreck he had several years ago, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse on him. And just want to send our best wishes out to him for a speedy recovery. And if you're watching, Buff, hang in there, brother. Hang in there, brother.
Now, you can tell Buff is gonna hang in there.
He's tough.
Listen, he was in pain for 5 years. 5
or 6 years, yeah.
It was just like that leg was just hanging on. And he never complained about it. One day we was in San Antonio, Texas. Him, myself, and Stevie Ray. And we sitting down in catering, waiting to eat, waiting for Buff to come down. Then I get a phone call. Buff called me and said, "Hey, Cat, can you come up to my room, help me put my sock on?" So that when I kind of figured it was kind of serious because he couldn't even put his socks on. So I went up there, helped him put his socks on, and I never seen what the leg looked like. but the leg was like it was just hanging there. But this is how I found out about that. I was trying to make a decision on something. I was trying to make a decision on something that to me it seemed like it was the worst thing. Whether it was like, okay, are you gonna run 1 mile, 2 miles, or you gonna run 10 miles? And I'm making a big deal out of, oh, it's too hard out here. I'm just complaining. Then I pick my phone up, and there's a picture on my phone of a guy in the bed, and I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't hardly see it. But it looked like he was missing his right leg. So I'm still looking at it. So I still didn't make it out. And then when I got my glasses, I started reading. They started talking about Marcus Bagwell. He just lost his leg. And Marcus is sitting there while all this is going on, just talking about it, which is, I mean, that in itself was pretty brave.
Yeah, it is.
For him to talk about him just getting his leg amputated, he had just came out of surgery. And we know how Buff used to be. Buff was all body man. Everything was physical to him, how he looked. He put a lot of money, a lot of stuff into it. But you know what? One problem leads to another one sometimes.
Yeah. But when you have a traffic accident like that, your leg gets smashed, and you do your best for 5 years to fight it and hang on to it and hope that it'll heal, and it just never did. And now he'll get a leg that he can actually, like he says, he'll actually have a leg now that he can stand on and work, because those legs have come a long way in the last 5-10 years. They really have. So,
Would you give one of your legs up for one of those?
I wouldn't give up my own leg for it.
So why are you just so like just talking about it with no imp or no like no heart?
I think his quality of life will improve.
Yeah, but you said it like, okay, yeah, we could give it up. Yeah, I would give it. Would you give it up?
If I had to, yeah.
Bro.
If it saved my life to take that leg, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
And that's what it did. Because without it, he was going to become septic, and it was going to poison his whole body.
I had an aunt that passed from that. She got gang. Yeah, she did not want to give up a leg. My aunt's tough lady, tough girl.
Both my aunts did the same thing.
76 years old. She had surgery, and she stayed in bed too long to where the circulation started going in her leg. Then a dark spot came on one of her toes, and then they took her to the doctor, and they told her it was gangrene, and they said, we're going to have to cut out both legs, not just one, both legs. And guess what she said? She had enough surgery. She said, no, I don't want you guys cutting on me. So she just took it and passed away about a month, about 2-3 weeks later.
Yeah, because once you get septic, it gets you.
Yeah, it did. It got her pretty fast.
Yeah, you poison that bloodstream, and that's what goes all over it. It infiltrates everything.
Man, I wish we had some way to talk to our fans right away, because there's fans out here who want to say something about Hogan, who may have a question to me, and I want to just be able to answer that. I want to hear what my fans got to say, know?
Right. Well, we're getting dangerously close to cutting in on our doctor, who we got. We're coming up off the air. We're going to be talking to a sports psychologist. So everybody that's tuned in now, make sure you tune in next Monday and catch that episode, because it's going to be pretty eye-opening. So what do you think, Cat? You think we ought to scoot out of here?
Well, 1 minute, we bringing on Dr. Ben Hunter, psychiatrist. And, the world is a mental game for me. And when I say mental game, physically, I can do anything, but mentally is what it started to kind of narrow down what I want to do. If I feel like I don't want to do it, that's a problem. So I want to talk to people. I like to talk to people like that. I'm going to ask Mr. Ben, how did he think mental health in pro wrestling is today? And what would he do to even make it better?
Sounds like a good plan.
So tune in next week. Tune in next week for and this guy's over. He's over the psychiatrist organization association here at Emory, I think.
In Atlanta.
So yeah, in Atlanta. So you know he know his business and he know wrestling too. So that's good. So it's gonna be good to kind of throw some stuff out there and see what he said about teen suicide, mental breakdown, how to get stronger mentally, mental health. So it's a lot of things we want to talk to him about.
I got a couple of questions about the clutch gene, if that's something that's, you know, just a person has, or if it's something they're born with, or is it something you can develop?
Yeah. So listen, Ray, let's get out of here, man. We've been here 35 minutes.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Hold on,
you
wait
don't
a minute.
tell the Shugster what to do, brother. When I'm ready to get out of here, dude, I'll lay it down and I'll get out of here, brother.
That sounds nothing like Ray. Let's go.
Thanks for joining us on the Cat's Corner. For your co-host, Ray W. Don't mean to
Come on, let's
Keziah,
go, Ray. Let's go. Bye.
And Ernest the Cat Miller. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next week on the Cat's Corner podcast.